So the next product that I went ahead and picked up for my fifth wheel as I'm getting this thing ready for spring is this unit made by GasStop. So I was told by a neighbor at a campground last year as I was putting together my list of things I was going to purchase when I first got my camper that this was something I wanted to put on my list. So I went ahead and did that. I got this thing picked up. I want to throw it on my tank real quick so I've got that peace of mind. I thought I'd bring you along real quick on the installation. So let me go ahead and get this thing out of the package real quick. And all you've really got in here is just this valve. And this is basically as simple as unscrewing the supply line on your tank. We're going to turn the tank off first. So let's go ahead and get that done real quick. Get the gas shut off to this thing real fast. Basically, all we're really wanting to do is we want to make sure there's nothing being supplied to the inside of the camper, or we're putting this little valve on. And then on this particular camper, I've got two of the 30-pound tanks, and I've got a valve on the other side that switches back and forth between the two tanks. Basically, my understanding of this is you can really get away with one of these if you want to. So basically, if you just put this on the tank that you're actually running. So in theory, when you got the valve supplied to the whole camper, if your leak were to develop, the tank that's hooked up to that and has the supply going is ideally the one that you're going to have this valve hooked to. Now, if you want any extra peace of mind and you're worried about covering leaks on both sides, you could absolutely pick up one for each side. But like I said, in a pinch, because these things are a little bit pricier, you may want to consider just getting one, and maybe as funds allow, you can get the other one down the road as well. But go ahead and get this thing put on here real quick. I'll get this screwed on just like so. And I'm going to go ahead and orient this so that I can see the valve. So I've got that screwed in right here now, and I'll go ahead and hook up my supply line back to the GasStop. And what's cool about this is it also supplies you with a gauge so that you can see how much is left in your tanks. So there's no guessing anymore, which I also thought was nice. Now, we're not full-time campers by any means, but I wanted to be able to at least hop in here and look and see what my tank was gonna be before we took off on a trip. So I got that all plugged in. I got this one here tightened up, so you must make sure all of our connections are tight. Get that dude just like that. So now you can see, I'll go ahead and turn this thing back on real quick. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do once you get your tank turned back on is you actually push down on the gauge, and that's going to basically purge the system, kind of reset the gauge, and give you kind of an accurate reading as to where your tank is. Now, I just picked up my camper. My tanks were all full when I got it. Push that there, and then you can see on my gauge here now, it's reading kind of halfway between the green there on the gas, so I should be good to go. So other than that, that's all there really is to this. Now, the nice thing about this is I've got that supply line going clear to the back of my camper for if I wanted to hook up one of those grills on the outside. If you're going down the road and something happens to flip up on the road and hit that line, or if you've got a line that's rubbing against the frame rail, something of that nature, and it creates a leak in your line, the GasStop's actually going to be able to register that leak, and it's going to shut your tank off, which is going to be huge. Going down the road, give you that little extra peace of mind. That way you don't have any mishaps like you've probably seen on the internet over the years, especially if you've been in the camping for a little while. So other than that, that's all there really is to the GasStop. Got this thing installed, ready to go. Got that item checked off my list. Now I can move on to the next thing. That's all I've got for you on this one today, guys. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. We'll catch you guys on the next one.